Okay, we're about to kick it off. If you haven't already logged into YouTube, please log in. The top right-hand corner, just click sign in. There is a little bit of a delay on this stream. It's also going to be varying on your internet connection as well. So to kick things off, we're going to look at Google searches. In the description I've gone over a couple of things, or detailed what we're going to be going over. Google searches is the first thing we're going to go over, just using some of the operators and using some of the search strings. Facebook, plenty of different ways to search Facebook. So for example, you can find out, you can get a list of everyone that's employed for a certain company, everyone with an occupation type. There's cool things you can do, as in if you're trying to locate your subject and the client said, well, they went to this school and we think they're a mechanic. Now you can actually do a Facebook search saying who went to this school and whose current job title is mechanic. That'll help you narrow down who your subject is pretty quickly. So lots of fun things we're going to be going over. Website backup, which is handy to do, archive view of websites, and then Q&A, where you can ask some questions. Like I said before, log in to YouTube so you can ask questions live. There is a little delay, but doesn't mean I'm not going to get to those questions. I'll still be able to help you out. Okay, so let's get started in Google. So I'm just going to open up a new Google tab and I'll drag that over to your window so you can see it. And for me, I'm currently overseas at the moment, so I'm in Thailand. So when I go to Google, it defaults to the Thai version of Google, which is really annoying because I don't speak Thai. I speak a little bit, but I don't read any of it. So to get around that with Google, just do www, so 2ws.google.com, or you can just type in google.com/NCR, which stands for No Country Redirect. Now some of the common searches in Google people do when they're trying to locate a person is they'll just type the person's name. So they'll just search for John Smith. And by typing John Smith in Google, and I know this is a little bit basic for some of you private investigators and skip tracers have been around for a while, and this is the basics for you, but we're just going to cover this quickly just to keep everyone up on the same page. So Google, typing in John Smith, you get over 800 million results. Too many to be going through. You're going to spend the rest of your life going through each and every one of those results to see if it is your subject. And the reason this is because these results aren't all for John Smith. Google's searching for two separate words, John and the word Smith. It doesn't have to be in that sequence. It could be bringing results with Smith John. It could be bringing results with John Bob Smith. We don't want that. We just want to find John Smith. So to reduce the number of searches that or search results that you get, just putting the name in quotes drops it down from 800 million to 16 million. Around about 17 million, just under 17 million. Still too many to go through, but a hell of a lot less results. And the reason is Google is only going to show you results for the exact phrase John space Smith. To reduce that even further, it helps if you know something about your subject. So if we're actually looking for John Smith, what does he do for a living? So if he does lawn mowing for a living, we can do space, the tittle sign, which is the shift key, and the squiggly line, which is located beside the number 1 key, and just type in lawn. Take the caps off. Now we've got under 1 million results, 371,000 results. That's even better. So the more you put in Google and using quotes around the name, it reduces results a hell of a lot. Now I've used the tittle sign. If I use the plus sign, so plus lawn, I'm going to get different results again. There you go, you can see a post that I've done about using these. So it's giving you different results altogether. You're better off using the tittle sign. and it gives you better results for what I'm after, for this subject anyway. If you search around Google for search operators, you'll get a lot of people saying the tittle sign doesn't work anymore, Google stopped it. That's crap. I tell people that it still works, and they say, no, 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 I've checked Google and it says they don't use it anymore. Clearly it does still work because I've just done it. So that's refining the search a little bit. And you don't just have to use Google to search for people. Obviously, you use it for searching anything. In this case, before we go on to pulling apart a website, getting Whois Lookup information, we can see here, we'll say this John Smith is our subject. And Google's displayed the contact details down here for us. If Google didn't, and you didn't want to go through that website and have to try and find the contact page, because sometimes it can be a little bit hard, especially with large telco companies, you can never find a phone number to call straight away. You can do a site search. So if we just say contact space site colon and paste the domain name without the www and all that in front of it, just the domain name and the .com.au, it's now only searching that website, and it's only searching that website for the word contact. So straight away we get the contact information. If the site was, say your subject works for Telstra, you could do a search for John and only search a Telstra website. And obviously that's going to be better if you're searching for the subject's first name, full name, sorry. And that'll help you. If they're listed as a board or director, they're going to be on the Telstra site, you would assume. Smaller companies, it works really well because they'll have the employee page, or About Us page will have a list of the employees. So it does help to search the person's name against their website. So remembering site colon and then the domain name will only make Google search that website. Searching a domain name, you don't just looking for name, you're looking for contact lists and things like that. Some companies will originally put a list of all their employees on there, and then after a while, instead of deleting the page, they'll just remove the link to the page. So the page still exists, but it's not indexed on their website. And they do that because maybe staff get a bit annoyed with their details up on the website, or they have a high turnover of staff and they can't be bothered updating it all the time, so they just remove that link, but the page is still there. So this will help you locate that page. If they haven't deleted it from the website, they've just deleted the link, you can still search who's working there or who was working there. You can also do searches for file types and things like that, so, and you can combine that with a site search. So you can look for a PDF on johnsmithturf.com.au as well. So you can combine these searches together. It just means your search string's getting a lot longer. And if you're into JavaScripting, just take note of the query that comes up the top here, and all you need to do is add that to your string plus whatever you're typing in there, and then there's your JavaScript to write your own code. So Google can be used in many different ways, but the biggest thing to remember is using quotes when you're searching for a person. It reduces the results from 800 million down to 16 million for John Smith in this instance. And like we did before, tittle sign, lawn, because we know the subject does lawn mowing. We're only bringing up results that are related to lawn in some way. And the first one is our John Smith. So what can we do with this information once we've got it? We can do something called a Whois Lookup, and this is probably already used by a lot of people viewing this already. A Whois Lookup will allow you to find out who owns that domain name. So a site like centralops.net, you can do free Whois Lookups. They limit you to 50 a day, so I've only got 47 left. There are a lot of different ones out there as well, and I'll publish a free one on my website as well. I'll let everyone know the link, so you've got unlimited amount of Whois Lookups. So we've got his domain name. His contact details are here, but he may have different contact details in the Whois info. So we type in the domain name here and click go, and it's going to bring back some information. So the domain name, which we already knew, last modified, registration, so it's registered to this company name, this ABN, which allows us to do an ABN lookup, and some more details. And you scroll down, and this is where you normally get their full name, street address, phone number, email address. In this case, John Smith has set his to private, so you're going to get abuse@netregistry.com.au and so on and so on. Not a lot of people do that. It does cost an extra $10 per year for private Whois Lookup. Not a lot of people pay for it, so you've got a good chance of getting extra information here for free. You can do paid Whois Lookups, where you can obtain even the private listings, and you can get historical listings as well. Knowing what's associated to a domain name also helps as well. So robtext.com is a pretty good site. So johnsmithturf.com.au, if I was to dump that into robtext and just click enter to search, it's going to come up with some basic information that we already saw in the Whois Lookup at Central Ops. But it's also going to give us shared. And John Smith is hosting his website on a shared server. So here's all the other domain names that are on that same server using the same IP address. So he may own multiple domain names. So just because you're going at him with one company, you may actually find another company. And the reason this is helpful is, okay, so one subject I had, a real pain in the butt to try and locate, set up companies like he's changing undies. He always had new companies he was coming out with, and they're always failing. So trying to locate what his current company was a real pain, but finding out what other domain names are on that server he's with helped me out a bit, and also the domain search, and I'll show you for those that use Detective Desk. And look, there's a number of different people on here on this stream, so they're not always from Australia, they're some people from overseas as well. Detective Desk has a domain lookup, and it will also tell you based on email address, so I'll drag this one over. So this is the domain lookup for Detective Desk. So if we get an email address for John Smith, we'll be able to see what other domain names he has, because we can search domain names by email address as well. We can also search domain names by an ABN number, trademark number, and name server, and a person's name, but I'm not about to do a search on John Smith because it's going to show me every John Smith that owns a domain name. So if we go over to John's website, and if we got a phone search on there, we haven't got a phone search enabled on there. So if we get his email address, so let's go email site. Let's see if we can pull an email address out of John Smith Turf. So there's a domain name. Info at John Smith. So we do an email search on that. So there's no domain names registered under that email address. What email address to use? Probably the NetRegistry email address, I dare say. Yep, NetRegistry. It's all set to private, so we're not going to get that out of there. Info John Smith. So they're all info John Smith. For an example, let's use mine. brad@musopages.com, and I don't mind exposing this email address, it just gets spammed all the time anyway. Here's a list of all the domain names that have been registered with that email address. So for those of you that are using Detective Desk, take advantage of the domain name search up the top there. I haven't come across any sites that are actually showing you for free the ability to search the number of domain names by an email address or held by an email address. If I do, I'll let people know. So for now, shared on robtext.com, which is a free site. We'll give you a list of domain names. May not be the subjects, they're just on the same server. But if you see multiple ones for lawn mowing, it may be the subject. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments section. And John, if you're watching, because I know you're logged in, can you let me know if the audio is coming through okay as well, mate? And just remember, there's around about a second delay. It could be a little bit longer depending on your internet account as well. So we just did a couple of things on Google search tips, and we can go into that more in depth as well later if you guys like. And we just touched on to the Whois lookups. CentralOps.net is the one that I normally use, mainly because it's the first one that I ever came across, and I'm lazy to remember any other ones. I'll build a free one so you're not limited, because this one does limit you to 50 a day, and post that so everyone can gain access to it. And Rob Text as well is a pretty good one also. So the fun stuff, which I know a lot of people are wanting to get into, is Facebook. How to stalk someone on Facebook can be pretty handy sometimes. So let's go over to Facebook. So this is Chris Hughes, one of the founders of Facebook, one of the not so famous founders of Facebook, I guess you would say. And he's got some good information here, and he's a top bloke because he's sharing his information with us. He's sharing his friends, he's sharing where he works. So he's a good target for this. I probably shouldn't use the word target. So it tells you here, New Republic is where he works. So if we want to get a list of all the employees for this company, we need to know what the company ID is. So if we go over to New Republic, just going to open that up in a new tab. Okay, so here's the page, the Facebook page for this company, and we need to get the page ID out of this. So there's two ways of doing it, and I've made it easier for members of PI United. I've got a tool there, so I'll show you that way, and I'll show you the manual way as well. The manual way is going to view source. So view page source. So all I've done here is just right click and gone down to view page source. Then press Control F to bring the find box up here. And we want to search for FB://page. And right after that, it's going to give us the page ID number for the Facebook page for New Republic. The alternative way of doing that is just pasting in the username here. So this is the username, the Facebook page name, copy, paste in here, click go, and it'll pull back the user ID. So with this, what we can do, well, we go to Facebook, and we're going to do a search on a list of employees. So we just type in search / you can see I've done one already, paste in the ID number for the Facebook page for that company, and /employees /present. And that's going to give me a list of all the current employees for this company that are on Facebook. If I want to know who's worked in there in the past, I'll just change present to past. And these are the former employees that are on Facebook. So this comes in handy, obviously, if you know where the subject works. Just get the page ID on Facebook and see if they're listed on there. You can find that down again just by pressing Control F and doing a search for the subject's name. You just need to make sure you scroll all the way down the bottom and let it load all the employees. Now, if you're not sure if the subject is currently working there or previously worked there, you won't know what search to do. So the best thing to do is change past to ever. And this is showing all past and present employees of this company. Very handy little search tip for finding people on Facebook. And look, there's a number of different ways you can do things with Facebook. A lot of different search strings you can do. So we can search on friends. So let's have a look. Employees of a friend. So let's change this string up here. So we'll leave search, and we want to know who is working with, let's go back to his profile ID 5, so Chris Hughes. I want to know which of his friends are working for that company. So this comes into effect if your subject's working for Telstra. You can't find his details, but you know one of his friends, and they're also working for Telstra. You could find the subject by doing this search. So change this to search / their user ID, so in this case it's just 5, and then we want to find out their friends, so and where they're working. So user ID, type in friends, the company user ID, which is the 16, so we've got it down here, and employees, and we'll put intersect there as well. So what this is doing is, so the way intersect works is basically you've got a circle with friends. Let me do a quick diagram to show you. Let's open up a new notepad. Okay, so here's intersect. This is the way it works. You're doing a search on all the Facebook friends, and you're doing a search on everyone that works for, this example, ANZ. This is the intersect part. So when we type in intersect up the top here, it's reducing all the people that are friends of the subject and work for ANZ, or in this case work for the Republic, New Republic. So that's what intersect does on the end of it. So this can help you narrow down a little bit more, and you can replicate this search in different ways. You can add a school in there. So if you know that the subject went to a certain school, in the school has a page, and most of them do, put the school page on there, and then you'll be able to find out who else went to that school, where they are now. So there's a number of different things you can do. We have built in some different search tools in here. One of the ones that I like is the bulk search, but we've also got residential search. So place ID, if you know your subject is living in a remote area, not so popular. I mean, if you're searching the middle of Brisbane City, yeah, good luck with that. You're going to be searching everyone in Brisbane City. So let's say Mackay. So this is the ID number for Mackay, and we're going to do a past search. Not many people live there. Click submit, and this is showing me all the people that used to live in Mackay and have moved out. And for a suburb, that's all there is. So it seems like if you move into Mackay, you're never going to leave, because not many people do leave there. So that's handy to know if your subject did come from Mackay, and I've used this search before to work out where a subject, to identify a subject, because I knew a person that I was looking for used to live in a certain area, and he wasn't, he's claiming to be somewhere else as per the client's instructions. So I just did a past search on the suburb that we knew that he used to live in, and he came up using this. And to manually do this search, so you can use this search feature here in the members section of PR United, or you can manually do the search by using this search string up the top here. So Facebook /search / the location ID / residence / past. I can change past, like anything else, to ever. Or present. And I can also add in strings with this as well, so I can add in friends. So grab a profile ID and see what friends that person has that also lives in that area or a different area. Multiple ways of searching Facebook. So just using the basic Facebook search up here isn't always the best thing. It's very limited. It's easier to use a search string up the top there, so you should get used to using the address bar to query Facebook or any site really. Okay, do we have any questions yet? I'll give it a couple of minutes. Sorry, a couple of seconds for people to respond, because there is a little bit of a delay. Okay, so I've got a question. Alright, I've had a question come in from Facebook, and it's a okay, it's a detective desk question, so obviously they're a DD user, and it's about the auto trace. You shouldn't really have access to that yet. It's still in beta testing, but yeah, okay, why not? If it's come up in your account. So this is a feature, if you're a DD user, this is a feature called auto trace, and it goes out and it basically just goes nuts. So I'm just on the second screen. I'm just doing an ABN lookup for a company. Let's do. We're going to pick on Collection House. Let's do that one. Alright, so it's the ABN. I'm just doing an ABN search on the screen that you can't see. Alright, so there's our ABN. So what AutoTrace does, it actually goes out and does a ton of searches to anything that's related to that ABN. So I'll click Trace. It does take a bit longer than the normal search, because when you see the results you'll know why. It's doing a lot of searches at the same time. I'm just going to go back out and have a look at other questions that are coming through. And we'll try not to do too many questions related to Detective Desk, because not everyone has access to it, and not everyone's in Australia. For those overseas, Detective Desk is an Australian skip trace search site. So it's not really going to help you out if you are not in Australia, or if you're not looking for a subject in Australia. Okay. So we've done a search on an ABN, and all I've done is an ABN search. We scroll down, it'll show you some basic filters it's done, some results, and then it publishes these results in the timeline. So 2003, 2015. Oh, thanks, Mark. I just got your message. Okay, so this is from 2003 to 2015. Sorry, how current that information is. So this is all the information it's pulled back, and then it presents the information in a web like this. And remember, we've just done an ABN search, so we can zoom in, we can move things around. Let's have a look. Let's see what it found. So credit collector, so it's found a domain name, a couple of domain names. It's found a person, a mobile number for that person, a webmaster, so that's connected to the domain name obviously. Another person, so an individual is found. Home address that's associated to all these numbers. So let's pull this home address out and see what it's connected to. So it's connected to Kerry Daly, one of the directors, and so we've got mobile phone numbers there as well. A ton of phone numbers connected to this one. And so, alright, so Kerry Daly is one of the directors. Matthew John Daly isn't, from memory, so that'll be a sibling of one of the directors. So it's actually pulling through the wife. So it's pulling through everything that's connected to that ABN number, which is pretty insane. It's got multiple different people down here as well. More addresses, so that's an office address, that's probably a home address, that's a home address, another employee of the company. So we've got a ton of information. Oh, more over here. Alright, so it's got the CEO, phone number, home address, mobile number. So that's AutoTrace. It's probably not the best looking it'll end up being. It is in beta testing at the moment, hence the reason the search tip is still in Ghibli. But yeah, that's what it is. You can change the view to different structured views if you like as well. And just zoom in and go nuts, but I find it easier to use this view, to be honest. And you can click and drag things. Zoom in, zoom out, click and drag to pan around. So yeah, auto trace. If it's on your account, if you see it up the top, go nuts with it, go crazy. I think it's pretty cool, fun little feature. There'll be more added to it as time goes on. Like I said, it's just beta testing at the moment. Okay, any other questions? Okay, so these tools up here, these are just in the members area. So if you're subscribed to the Skip Trace course, or if you're just a PI United member, these tools are made available for you. These are always getting updated. So this one's just doing an ABN lookup, multiple different searches. This one is just a playing area for me, just playing with some code. There's Facebook search tools. There's Twitter search tools. You can actually search Twitter. Not many people actually know this. Let's jump into the Twitter search tool. You can actually search Twitter by geolocation, and this has helped me out. I love social media. It's freaking brilliant. If anyone had said to me years ago that I wish I had a database where I had a photo of the subject, an address, a phone number, what they had for breakfast, what they're wearing, who their friends are, who their partners are, who their family members are, I'd say you're freaking dreaming. It's never going to happen. Then comes along Facebook. I mean, it's an investigator's dream, really. And Twitter's just as good. So in the Twitter search tools, you've got search address, longitude, and latitude. So if we go up to here, get longitude and latitude, open that in a new tab. And this will give you longitude and latitude. Now this one is pretty damn precise. There's a chart down the bottom here that tells you the number of decimals and how accurate it is. So this tool is going to bring you 9 times out of 10 8 decimal places. So we're in like within a millimeter of the actual longitude and latitude. So the way this works is you can just type in an address up here. It's open on Sydney, so let's just jump into Sydney. And let's not do the Sydney Harbour Bridge because there's going to be 1,000,000,001 tweets from there. So let's scroll in. What was this one? Double Bay. Alright. Double Bay Sheaf Bistro. So we just left click on the Sheaf Bistro. And we scroll down, and in red you can see latitude and longitude. Because if you're in Australia, you need to make sure if there's a negative side, which there always will be, in latitude, that's included in your copying. So we go over here, latitude, paste it in, longitude, longitude we need now, paste that in, and we'll do a distance of 1 kilometer. So that's a 1 kilometer radius. So right now what I'm doing is searching for every tweet that's been made within a 1 kilometer radius of that location. And we've come up with quite a few. And it's still, we just keep scrolling down, there's going to be a ton of them. So let's narrow this down a little bit. And how this has worked is a location from a subject, an old address, or so I thought was an old address. I use this and I put the pin in here on the subject's house, and found a number of tweets within a kilometer radius and just started tweaking it. So started bringing it back to say within 100 meters, so 0.1, and kept doing that and worked out very quickly that there's a subject's Twitter account. That was a current tweet, and that was a photo of their car, their new car, in their driveway at that house. So we've done, what do we do now? It's saying it up here, so 100 meters, so 0.1 of a kilometer. And what is this location? Sheaf Bistro. What is this tweet? Vine Restaurant. Let's drop it down a bit more. 0.05. Little Jean, Double Bay. The Golden Sheaf Hotel. So now we're getting the tweets that are coming from that hotel. So again, it doesn't just have to be the subject's house, it could also be if you saw a status on the subject's Facebook page saying going to the Sheaf Hotel tonight, do a Twitter search, see if they've got a Twitter account as well. It's always good to have multiple social media accounts on a subject. So the Geo Search, you can manually do this Geo Search using this search string. So basically all it's saying is geocode colon latitude comma longitude comma and then the radius search that you want to do as well. So you still need to get longitude and latitude. I have built a longitude and latitude search. Like I said, this one's pretty damn precise. So you never, if you're using this with the Twitter search, you never want to have this at 0 because you're probably not going to get any tweets unless they're standing at that point. So there we go, no tweets. And that the reason that is because it's that precise. You're only going to get tweets from a person that's standing there. If they're standing here, you're not going to get any tweets because that longitude and latitude search comes down to within a millimeter of that spot that we've ticked there. So two ways around it: always put a number in here, so 0.05, or you can just remove some of the decimals. So kilometer, kilometer, meter. So if you want to be within a meter radius, just copy and paste 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all you need to copy and paste, just that, and you'll be within a meter. And every single digit after those 5 is how more is going to increase the accuracy of that longitude and latitude. So for a Twitter search, me making this that accurate is probably not the best idea, but this is used for multiple things as well. So that's Geo Search, Twitter, and we can manually change this up here as well. So let's put a 0.05 up here, and you'll see it'll change. Alright, so we've done some social media searching. Website backer. Okay, so depending on the investigations that you're doing, or if you're doing skip tracing, you want to try and locate a subject. You've already found them. You've found a website. So for example, where's good old John Smith? And look, John Smith, if you're watching, wow, really surprised that a lawnmower is watching a skip tracing video. But if you are watching, sorry, if that helps. HTTracker is a free piece of kit that you can get. HTTrack. You can go to the HTTrack website, just Google HTTrack. Let me do that for you. Where is Google screen? HTTrack. That way you know what website you're going to. HTTrack.com. Click on that. Click download. It's free, so don't freak out. And it gives you a recommendation. Just click the exe to download the exe file. And what HTTrack allows you to do is download websites in HTML. So you're only going to get the HTML code for the website. You're not going to get everything else. You will get documents, PDF documents and things like that. So let's go to John Smith's website here. Bring over HTTrack. And we'll click, once it opens up, click next. Project name, John Smith Mowing. I can give it a category if I want. I haven't set any categories up. Base file, so base path, it's going to save it in my D drive in the HTTrack file or folder. Click next. The web addresses, so I'm only going to do one. This is a domain name, so I'm pasting that in there. Click next, and away we go. Now it's downloading that website. So I've got a copy of that website current as of today's date. So if your subject, and I've had to use this a couple of times because like I said, one of the slimy subjects that I was trying to locate always changed his domain names, coming up with new companies all the time. I'll just take a dump. As soon as I got a copy of Founder's website, I'll take a dump of that website. So I always had it there, and I could go through and analyze it later. And it's a lot easier to view websites when you can see them in folders instead of having to try and find domain names. If you've got the complete website in a folder, let's just go to my D drive, HTTrack, John Smith Mowing. So while it's downloading, you can see this is where it's downloading it to. These are the pages. While it's downloading, it'll have index.html there. It's got index-2.html.tmp. That .tmp will be removed once it's finished downloading. If it doesn't, if it leaves it there for whatever reason, and it should never leave it there, just click on it and change it to .html. Remove the .tmp. So now I can view this page. So this, if you look up here, file, it's on my D drive. This is my D drive. This is not his website, and it's looking a bit ugly because it hasn't downloaded all of the styling yet. It's still downloading the site, so we have to be a little bit patient with it. But you'll notice I'm getting images as well. They're coming through. Still a lot of temp files because it's downloading at the moment. JavaScripts are in there. Swift files are in there, CSS files are in there, so I'm getting a lot of information. And if you had any PDF documents, they're going to be there as well. So HTTrack is a brilliant tool to have, and it's free, so why wouldn't you? Cancel and exit. I don't really want John Smith's website. No offense, John, but it doesn't interest me. So HTTrack, good way to back up a website. If the subject's already deleted their website, so let's pick on John Smith again. He's really going to hate me, isn't he? We can go to a site called Archive. So archive.org/web. This will allow you to see what a website used to look like. So for example, we can go to Google, google.com, and we can see what Google looked like back in the 90s, for example. So it brings up this chart. So 2015, all these blue circles, all the backups it's got. So these are the times. So at this time, they back up Google pretty regularly, don't they? Look at that. Now let's compare this to a less known website. Not all websites are backed up, I'd like to point that out, but a hell of a lot of them are. So John Smith has been backed up since 2006. We hover over and there's a snapshot of it there. So this is 2015. Let's click on 2006 and see what it looked like back then. So March. Anywhere there's a blue circle, there's a backup. So we click on the blue circle. Okay, so his website hasn't really changed much over the years, so this is a bad example. He didn't have that annoying video. So this is what his website looked like in 2006. And we can increase this over the timeline just by going up here now and changing the date. So his website's been the same for quite a few years. Still no change there. One thing to have a look at though is his phone number down the bottom here. So down here, let's go back to 2006. So ends in 555 and 422. 555, 422, so he's probably had the same number the whole time anyway. But it's good to take note of what the contact details are on a website over time. Yep, so he's kept the same numbers over time. Let's go back 2006 and see if his email address was different as well. Nope, email address was still the same as well. So very handy to be able to see a website, historical view of a website. The reason is what normally happens, so someone starts a company, and when they first start the company they build their website, they're all excited and they put all their information on the website. And then they get sick and tired of getting spammers and they start taking some of that information off. And they might replace an email address with a contact form, so you can no longer see the email address. But if you can see what that website used to look like, you can get all that original information that they were excited about to put on back at the start. So a historical view of a website is really handy to get. So between this and downloading a complete backup of a website, extremely handy thing to have. There are other archive sites as well. There's one other that I found, but it's not really that good. Archive.org is probably the best one, or is the best one that I've found so far. That's my opinion, but honestly, to me, it's got the most websites, and it's got a ton of information. It's easy to navigate as well. Okay, any other questions? One other thing I'll raise as well. So I guess if everyone's coming from the Facebook page, the Investigator Facebook group, you'll know Jarvis. So Jarvis has a courts database, court record database. So this is the same, basically using the same database. It's just using a different interface. So this is still Jarvis's database. Allows you to do the court record search, and look, this does really help. So the reason I'm showing it is because it is pretty damn good. It's the only way to get historical judgment details. So I'll take this off the screen and log in. There we go. I've found subjects before because it's shown me what courthouse they're going to be at, which is handy to have. So let's hope the same John Smith isn't going to appear on here. John Smith, search on him again, and it's bringing back all the records, and you'll notice 2015. We can filter this by date just by clicking on date. So we'll see older ones as well. So this goes back for the last year. As a skip tracer, old information is still good information. Would be interested in the current details as well. But what you notice here is it's showing you what offences they've had. So if you're doing a surveillance on someone that's wanted for attempted murder, may want to back up a little bit more. But knowing where they're going to appear in court or where they've just appeared, so if they've appeared in court yesterday in, where is this one, Adelaide Magistrate Court, location is there, you know where they are, or you know where they were close to at that point in time. So having point in time data or historical data is very, very useful when it comes to locating subjects. Plus we can see what he was done for as well. Goes and it gives you a lot of information. The courtroom's not really going to help you. That kind of stuff's good for lawyers. For skip tracers, knowing where it was, what kind of offence it was, and the date and state location is really, really useful. So I just wanted to point that one out to you. Okay, so we're not getting many questions through on the live stream up here. Just checking Facebook to see what comes through. No, there's no messages popping up on there, and Skype. Okay, so is there anything you want anyone would like me to run through? And for those that haven't logged into YouTube, if you log in the top right hand corner, you can ask questions in the live stream. Anything you'd like me to go back over or go a little bit deeper into? And you just have to bear with me for a second because I've just got to wait for any responses to go through. Okay, so John's asked how much for PI United subscription. Yeah, so it depends on what you want to do with PI United, mate. I'll jump into PI United again. If you're doing the course, you get access to the members area anyway for the 12 months. So buying any product, you get access for 12 months. the free courses don't include that. Or you can just choose membership. The courses are here, 650 for the advanced course. That includes the base course. If we go to shop, you'll see the membership area. So pro membership is 150 for a year, and that gives you discounts on Detective Desk and the Oscourts database. And then you've got base membership, which is 99, I believe. So your pro membership, yeah, get access to the tools. You get discounts on all the courses as well. So you get an extra. Doesn't list it there actually, but pro membership gives you $50 off the advanced skip trace course. It gives you 30 days free of Detective Desk, 2 months free of Oscourts, and then access to the members area. The base membership gives you access to the members area only, and 1 month free of Oscourt database. Hopefully that answers your question. And yeah, the members area is growing, so we've got the tools here in the members area. Saves you having to use any code, and there's more tools being added at the moment. I'm basically staying up to about 3 in the morning writing code to put out some more tools there. Okay, any other questions? Or anything you'd like me to go into with more detail? So we're looking to do another one of these. I'm doing a catch-up one of these on December 13, I think it is. It'll be basically the same one as we're doing today, just for people that couldn't make it, because I did sort of spring this on everyone. I sort of put it on there yesterday saying, hey, live seminars tomorrow. So we will be doing a catch-up one on the 13th, covering the same things. This is live, so things change, so we might not do everything exactly the same. And then I'll be looking to do another free session about 3-4 weeks later with new material, new things. So every month I'll look to do a free skip trace stream, and every month as well I'll also, in addition to that, I'll be doing a paid one. So anyone that's a member of PI United, whether they're subscribed to a course or they've just paid for membership, they get access to the private ones, where we go into a lot more detail as well with searching. So I go over a ton of different Facebook search features, Twitter search features, and some of the stuff that's actually in the course as well. We go into. That's included in your membership as well. So there's two live streams that we do: the free one and then the paid one for the members that they get access to. Okay, so if there's no other questions, that about wraps us up for the day. If you have any questions after this, let me know. Send me a message over Facebook, over Skype. Skype is, let me open up a notepad. Preferably one that hasn't got a ton of text in there. Okay, so if you want to contact me via Skype, my Skype username is Skype. Helps if I can spell, doesn't it? _NDC. So you can chat to me via Skype, via Facebook, which you'll all have, I guess, because you've seen the ad. If you're a member, via the members area, there's member forums and there's also instant chat, so you can chat to me via there as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. This is the first one, so I apologise if the audio isn't very good. If it was clear, fantastic. The stream seem to be okay from what I can see, but I'll make some adjustments. I'll do some more testing before the next one as well. So appreciate everyone attending. Any questions, feel free to ask. My phone number, if you guys don't have it, for those of you in Australia, let me bring up that screen again. For those of you in Australia and Queensland, 07 3102 3282. For those of you in New South Wales, it's 02 8091 3282. And overseas, you're better off just calling me on Skype instead of spending a ton of money on a phone call. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Hope to speak to you soon on the forum or on Facebook. We'll no doubt catch up soon. Thanks for watching.